Oh, we had so good the last time. Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. Uh, we were hoping that we would have Jacob on for this one, but I haven't heard anything from him yet, and we can't stay up all day long, so we gotta get this done. So today we'll be doing NCAA football picks for what is this week 8 now? Yes, week 8. Oh yeah, we gotta do. Okay, hold on. We'll do that later. So
No, no, stop.
later date. We can't do it this week. I actually did remember this just now, but we don't have time to do it this week. We'll just have to leave it off until next week. But we'll be doing mid-season reviews for the Power Five schools, along with whatever miscellaneous teams are left in the top 25. We'll review over all the bigger teams and all that. So we will be doing that. We don't have time to do it this week. It'll have to be next week. Not to mention, there's a couple things going on. Obviously, all sports. Dear Lord, that was awful looking. Of course, it was Draymond Green shooting the free throw. As I say that, obviously the NBA is currently playing as we have Clippers and Warriors on the late night game, but NBA started up Tuesday night. Um, NHL hockey is underway. Not that the NHL, we don't do the NHL on here, but it's going nonetheless. MLB playoffs currently playing, and then of course we have football. So that'll be what we do. That's what we'll be doing today, as we start with, of course, what we always start with, our shockers of the week, and mine, well, is definitely a shocker because, well, in a different sense, I suppose, because I don't think anyone expected to see this as expected this team to be the underdog, but mine is Oklahoma State over Iowa State. Yes, Oklahoma State is the underdog against the Cyclones. The number 8 team in the country is an underdog against an unranked team by 7 points. I can't understand that. But, I mean, Iowa State, it is harder to play in Ames. So I'll give them that. But this Oklahoma State team has looked very good. If anything, this should be an even line. Not a favorable one for Iowa State. But nonetheless, I have this one going, of course, in favor of Oklahoma State. And I don't know how it got like that. But I have this one going in favor of Oklahoma State. I have them winning this one, and was a weird shocker of the week. But nothing else to say there. Sam, what is yours? You already told me, but tell them.
Yeah, deep into the trenches and look for this one. I had to go into the bottom of the belt. I had to go to the Pac-12. I always like making fun of the Pac-12. As one of the not so great Power 5 conferences. But I went to Colorado. Is playing at California. And California is a team that has won one game this year. They're playing at 3:30, so it'll be like a noon start there in California. California has won one game this year. They have beaten the Sacramento, what are they, Serpents? Hornets, sorry. Sacramento State Hornets. And that was a close game. That was 42-30. That's an FCS team. California has not been very good. They've been pretty close, actually, in all their games. They just don't know how to win games. And I think that'll continue. Colorado's coming off a 34-0 win over Arizona. Not a very good team. But at least they're coming off of a win. And I believe I said California's favored by 8.5. I don't understand why. But I'm going with another safe route this week. And hopefully, finally, I will get my second shocker of the week. After Fresno State has been the only one that has helped me so far this year. But I'm going with Colorado, California.
Yeah, I didn't notice that one when I went and did mine with, of course, when I went and had mine with, wow, I might not spin it out, with Oklahoma State beating Iowa State, but I still liked mine, so I was fine with it. So now we get on to our picks for the week. I'm trying to be a little more quiet because I know my family is trying to
But do we
sleep right
not know
now.
Jacobs?
Oh, I don't know
We
what
don't even know Jacobs' shot
I
either.
don't know what Serbenski's is. I don't even know what his picks for this week are. So I'll have to put those in later.
I thought at least you had the doctor.
I don't have anything for him right now. So we'll just get to our picks for the week. I'm sure Jacob will just post what our shockers are. He always does. Most of you, no, I won't say. Never mind. Moving on, we get to our picks of the week now. We have Tennessee on the road against Alabama. Um, I think this is pretty clear cut. I have Alabama winning this one, but if you guys don't know, actually, I'll just say this: Jacob has not been feeling well lately, so he's been resting up late as of late. So has been feeling the greatest. He's getting better. I know he has gotten a lot better since then. He's feeling much better now, but a week ago he was not feeling great, so we didn't really have a lot of time to really put in videos. It's been a lot of me and Sam, of course, lately. But anyways, I have Alabama beating the Volunteers pretty easily here.
Yeah, as long as they don't bring Tennessee's fans over to throw some golf balls and bottles at Nick Saban, which I'm sure they won't allow that in Alabama. That's for sure.
No.
Alabama should handle Tennessee. Should. Only exception is if Tennessee can get going on the offensive end, and that's a very low chance, low possibility, because I know they won't be able to stop Alabama in defense. Maybe if it's at Tennessee, it's a different story, but this is Alabama. This is at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and this is going to be a blowout win for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and this is apparently on ESPN Radio, so you can listen to it on ESPN Radio.
It's on ESPN as well.
Yep, on ESPN as well. It's a 7 o'clock game. And next is a really early ABC primetime game, as we have the Ohio State Buckeyes on the road against Indiana. Why in the world this is the ABC primetime game and not something like, I don't know, where your college game day is in Oregon UCLA? I don't really know. But this is the ABC primetime game. I think it's pretty obvious who is winning this one. I have Ohio State by a half a mile. Indiana has looked terrible, and it's not getting any better. So give me the Buckeyes pretty easily in Bloomington.
Yeah, Indiana competed pretty well against Michigan State last week. I don't think they can repeat that against Ohio State. Loaded team every year like Ohio State is, and Indiana hasn't looked good. Sorry. Indiana has not looked good this season. They're only 2-4. 2-4.
Yep, 2-4.
0-3 in the Big Ten. Push that to 0-4. Push Ohio State up to 4-0 in Big Ten. 6-1, and they'll stay in the top 5 next week.
All right, and then we have Northwestern on the road against the hated rival of the Buckeyes, the Michigan Wolverines, who are still undefeated at 6-0. You know what our picks are going to be, but I have the Wolverines. I'm assuming you do too, but I have Michigan. Northwestern and it has been disappointing this year. They have not looked great. Wolverines are home. I think they win this one by a decent margin.
The Wildcats have been a little confusing. I mean, they got blown to bits by Nebraska. Blown to Pitt 56-7. And they come right back and they just beat Rutgers like they're nothing. So I guess it looks like the Rutgers might be a little bit of a fake team. I'd say if this game is in Evanston, Northwestern got a shot. But since it's in Ann Arbor, I don't think they have a chance. Michigan will take this one at least by 14 points. Going with the Wolverines.
All right, and then we have the NC State Wolfpack on the road against the Miami, Florida Hurricanes. Miami, Florida has, well, been nothing but disappointing. Miami, Florida has been bad. At 2-4 this year, they really have looked awful. And I'd pick the Hurricanes in this one, but they've just looked so bad, and they don't have the Era Kings. So I have the Wolfpack winning this one on the road in Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, like I said, NC State looked really good against Boston College last week. Boston College actually looks like at least an average-looking team. So, NC State, like I said, I think they're the real deal. I think they've got a chance to win the Atlantic Division. They got to get past Wake Forest as well, but NC State handles Miami down in Florida.
All right, and then we have LSU on the road against Ole Miss. If you can tell by these games, this is not a great week. We're also tired, so we're just trying to get through it. But this is also not a great week. There's not that many good games to really choose from. I think this one is a pretty easy one for Ole Miss. This LSU team is not very sharp. Plus, there's the whole hullabaloo of what will now be the leaving of Coach O at the end of the year. Really disappoints me. It's so sad because I love Coach O. I just love hearing my typical "Go Tigers" at the end of every single game, or whenever he's being interviewed, just to hear that "Go Tigers" or "Yeah, I love Coach O. He's so awesome, but he is no longer going to be LSU coach. He will finish the year, and that will be it for him. I think that cloud over the Tigers does not help them. I think the Rebels run all over LSU, throw it all over LSU, however you want to say it. They're gonna win.
Go Tigers. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat there. No. Yeah. I think that hearing about Ed Orgeron, I think that really inspired LSU last week because they really put it to Florida. They kept themselves in the game and they ended up beating Florida in the end. And that's a couple of years in a row now where Florida has cost themselves games against LSU. I guess LSU is just big brother to Florida, as you recall last year when the Florida player took the
shoe and launched it across the field.
20 yards downfield. Yeah. And that ended up helping the LSU go. But this is LSU and Ole Miss. And I feel like this will be a better game than implied. I think it'll be close. But I think Ole Miss will pull it off. And if anything, they'll get the ball at the end. And they'll just go and score. Just because that's what they do on offense. I know I said earlier about how Lane Kiffin was talking about the defense finally got them the win, but it may come down to Ole Miss just scoring and winning at the end. If not, Ole Miss will win this game handily.
All right, and then we have the
LSU's got a shot though. LSU has a shot.
They do, for sure. And we have the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on the road against the Virginia Cavaliers. I was desperate for really anything I could find, so this is one game that I found, but I think we're all, well, I don't know, maybe, but I have Virginia winning this one. Georgia Tech is a decent team, but Not not good enough to beat Georgia Tech. I have the Cavaliers winning this one.
Georgia Tech obviously beat Clemson that scared at the beginning of the year when Clemson was considered a good team. Then they destroyed North
North
Carolina,
Carolina.
got destroyed by Pitt, and then they won a close game against Duke. And Duke is a team that just gets rolled over quite a bit. Um, Virginia looks like a solid football team. They've won 3 states. Absolutely. I mean, last 2 teams, both these teams, the last team they played was Duke. Yellow Jackets, they beat them by 4. Cavaliers, they beat them by 48. Give me Virginia in an easy victory over Georgia Tech.
All right, and we have a big time. We got an old time, big time rivalry with the USC Trojans on the road against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Uh, Notre Dame has been way better than USC. The Trojans just look bad. They don't look good. It's been a major failure over there in South in USC and Notre Dame. I think will win this one, especially at home. USC will not be in the Coliseum. They'll be over in South Bend. Don't think that helps them either. I think the Fighting Irish take the rivalry this year.
No, yeah, without a doubt. Notre Dame is going to wipe the floor with USC. Maybe just the fact that it's a might be close for USC, but Notre Dame appears to be a solid team. USC really is not a solid team. So they're a very flaky team. They had to go through the firing head coach. Notre Dame's come off a bye week after a really close win over Virginia Tech. But I think Notre Dame should be able to get done.
All right. And we have Wake Forest on the road against the Army Black Knight. Or, no, I think it's actually Army Knights now. Um, Wake Forest has been pretty good this year, honestly. And Army having a home game is a really unique.
When you're ready, it is the Black Knights. Black
Oh,
Knights.
oh, it is. Okay, it's still the Black Knights. All right. But Wake Forest has got a really good team. They've been playing very well. I do think Army has a good chance of an upset, but I'm going to go with the safe pick. I'm going to take Wake in this one. Should be a fun game, but I'll take Wake Forest. They remain undefeated.
I'm going to take Army because I don't think we're going to differentiate in almost any game this week. So I have to figure out a way we're going to differentiate somehow. I'm going to pick Army here. I really think this is going to give Wake Forest trouble. It's in West Point. It's going to be chilly. It's going to be confusing. It's an armed forces team. You always know it's confusing. I'm going to give Army's going to win it on a late field goal here.
All right, and then we have West Virginia on the road against TCU. West Virginia has really not looked the greatest this year. People expected more out of West Virginia, and they've come close in a lot of games. They just come up short. And TCU has been okay. This is a 50-50 game, I would say, but I'm gonna go with. I'll go with the home team. I'll take TCU in the home game against West Virginia.
I will take TCU as well. They're one of my fantasy teams. And I'm going to go with them. And I really, well, I know it sounds like just simple, but I really like Evans for TCU. He's really good back. Stood out this year, just for running for the Horned Frogs. And I don't think West Virginia can stop the run. Um, Overall, West Virginia has just been kind of disappointed after getting a great win. It seemed like a great win over Virginia Tech. just lost 3 straight to Oklahoma, to Texas Tech, and been blown out by Baylor. So, give me the Horned Frogs.
All right. And now we have Kansas State on the road against Texas Tech. I like this Kansas State team. They can play. Texas Tech is 5-2, but I don't trust the Red Raiders really very much. I think the Wildcats have the better team. I think they win this one on the road. Give me the Wildcats to win this one.
This one's tough. Kansas State hasn't won the game in conference yet, but they played Oklahoma, Baylor, and Oklahoma State. So I guess, or no, they haven't played Baylor. They played Iowa State, which is still a pretty good team. Texas Tech has beaten West Virginia and Kansas. They lost to TCU and Texas. Yeah, this doesn't look like a good matchup for the Red Raiders. I'm going with Kansas State.
And now we have Syracuse on the road against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has lost 2 weeks in a row now in Blacksburg, and they don't look the greatest, but I don't see the Hokies letting themselves lose 3 games in a row at home. Give me the Hokies to get a win for themselves back in Blacksburg. I think they take this one against the Orange.
There's no way Virginia Tech loses 3 in a row at home. Especially not in Syracuse. Syracuse they've been in a few heartbreaks the past couple of weeks. Heartbreak against Florida State, heartbreak against Wake Forest, heartbreak against Clemson. All lost by 3 points in each of those games. And the last 4 games have been decided by 3 points. They beat Liberty by 3. I'm going to say Virginia Tech by 3. Just to keep the pattern going.
Just trying to poor Serbinsky and him being a Syracuse fan, suffering through it all. Next, we have the San Diego State Aztecs, number 22 in the country, San Diego State, on the road against Air Force. No, this is not my NCAA Football 05 San Diego State team. Only Sam knows what I'm talking about for that. Maybe West too, but I don't know if he's watching. But San Diego State on the road against Air Force. Another one of those interesting games where one of those ranked undefeated team goes on the road to play an armed force, and Air Force has been actually a decent this year. I believe they're actually favored for this game. And I don't really know much about San Diego State. I know they beat Utah. Oh, by 3. Okay, yeah.
They're favored by 3.
All right. And so this is another interesting one. This is a 50-50 game, I think. I don't really trust San Diego State very much. I watched them play against Utah. They just escaped because Utah's missing Charlie Brewer. I'll still, I'll still take San Diego State. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this Aztec team, but against the armed force, I think they get it done.
Yeah, Air Force's only loss comes to Utah State at home. We lost a game, high-scoring game, 49-45. And you know anything about Air Force? They really usually don't score a lot of points. They're usually in the 20s. Maybe they'll get to the 30s a couple times. Last couple of games they've won, but they've only scored 24 points both those games. So they like playing low-scoring games. And then you look at San Diego State, and it would appear they like to play in higher scoring games, with 30s and 40s most of the time in their final score. So really, it's going to depend who gets to play their game. If San Diego State, if it gets to a shootout, San Diego State's going to win. If it gets into a low-scoring defensive battle, I think Air Force is going to win. So it's going to come down to that. It's at Air Force, and I'm taking another Armed Forces team. I'm going to go with Air Force. They're going to pull off the upset. Well, not the upset. They're actually favored. So they're going to pull off the win at home, and they're going to be 2-0 with the Armed Forces. And no, I'm not picking Navy over Cincinnati.
That's not even on here, so.
I know. I was just making that emphasis. I will not pick Navy over Cincinnati.
I don't think anyone in their right mind would take Navy over Cincinnati. Our next one is the Maryland Terrapins on the road against the Minnesota Golden Gophers in Minneapolis. Here's a really good one. These two teams, I think, are pretty much on the exact same level. Maryland has lost 2 straight, being rough games to both Iowa and Ohio State, getting smashed by both of them, losing 51-14 and then 66-17. My gosh, that is a lot of points being put on that defense. And Minnesota's got a decent team. Has got a solid team again. Maryland, this is a 50-50 game. This can go either way, but with the way Maryland's been playing lately, I'm going to go with Minnesota to win this one close at home.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of defense being played this game, and I think Minnesota will carry it out. They've looked a lot better ever since they lost to Bowling Green at the beginning of the year. Nobody knows what happened there. Minnesota has actually looked a lot better. They've beaten Purdue. They've beaten Nebraska. Destroyed Colorado on the road. But, yeah, Minnesota's looked a lot better. And they are coming off a bye, too, I believe. So Maryland is coming off more byes. And Minnesota is coming off feeling pretty good about themselves. So I'm going to go with Minnesota to keep it. Bring it to a 3-game win streak for Minnesota.
All right, and then we got Boston College on the road against Louisville. This is another, I think, I think this is more of a 50-50 game yet again. Boston College has been, this year. They came up short against Clemson, then NC State walloped them. And so now they take on the Louisville Cardinals. I think at home the Cardinals get it done. I think Louisville takes this one close. You never know with these ACC games. Completely 50-50, but I'll take Louisville to win close.
Yeah, you really don't know anything about the ACC ever, I feel like. In football, at least. Except for usually Clemson. You usually know about Clemson. Now you don't even know about Clemson. So, yeah, this should be a close game, but I will give the home team the advantage as well. I'm going to take Louisville. I like what they do on offense better than Boston College. Boston College seems iffy to me. I don't like iffy. I like Louisville.
And now another conference where everything's 50-50 and you never know about any of the teams is the Pac-12 with Utah on the road against Oregon State. This Utah team has looked decent this year. I think I don't know. Are they still missing Charlie Brewer? I'm not really sure on that, but Utah is kind of starting to pick up the pace here. Definitely looking a lot better after that win last week against Arizona State. Oregon State is a surprising 4-2 this year. This is a road game for Utah. This can go either way, but I'm not a big believer in the Oregon State Beavers, so I'll take the Utah Utes to win this one.
It says here, Utah starting quarterback Charlie Brewer leaves program just 3 games into the 2021 season.
Oh,
so I don't think
yeah,
he's coming back.
No, yeah, he's gone. That's right, yeah.
He's in the transfer portal. So Yeah, so Charlie Burger's not coming back. But it's at Oregon State, correct?
Yep. Home
Yes,
game
it's
for
at Oregon State.
Beavers.
Could be a really good game, honestly.
It will be. It'll be a
This
great
Oregon
game.
State team does know how to beat the teams. They are coming to loss to Washington State. That's not helping me at all. So I'm going to go with Utah. Utah's hot right now. 3 straight wins. Washington State, USC, and then obviously most importantly Arizona State. That was huge. They won by a couple scores. So I'm going to go with Utah.
Yeah, Utah winning that game after a massive comeback. They were down 21-7, won it 35-21. Scoring
28 unanswered.
Yeah, 28 unanswered. And this game has already happened. We all picked Coastal Carolina, but Coastal Carolina against Appalachian State. The Mountaineers beat the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers at home, getting their first win against a top 25 team since beating, guess who? Michigan in 2007. So congratulations to Appalachian State. Now we move on to the next game with Wisconsin on the road against Purdue, number 25, Purdue, ranked for the first time since I believe it's 2007. So this is going to be a fun one, I think. Purdue has been kind of all over the place this year, but now has found a spot in the top 25. Wisconsin really has looked bad. Uh, I think this is a win for Purdue. They've been the better looking team. Wisconsin has too many problems. Their team just has been not good. So I have the Boilermakers winning a close one. No, I have Boilermakers winning it. I don't know about close, but they'll win.
I think it'll be close. I think Wisconsin has just had a really tough schedule this year. They had Notre Dame, Penn State, and Michigan all at the beginning. Beat up Illinois, beat up Eastern Michigan, and then won a close game against Army, which Army seems like they're not a terrible team. And I think Wisconsin's just had a tough schedule at the beginning of the year. Granted, all those games are at home, so you should probably win at least one of those games at home, you would think. But, yeah, I think it'll be close. But it's actually only the second road game for Wisconsin, and this is game 7 of the year. The second road game. Although Michigan hasn't really had a lot of road games either, so. Tough choice. I want to pick Wisconsin because then it'll make Michigan's win look better, but I think we're gonna have to go with Purdue.
All right. And now we have the next one being the Clemson Tigers at 4-2 on the road against number 23 Pitt. I really wonder when was the last time we saw a big time game like this. When was the last time we saw a game where Clemson was playing a ranked team, but they weren't ranked? When was the last time that happened? That's got to be a long time. But unranked Clemson against number 23 Pitt on the road. This should be an interesting one. Pitt 5-1 this year has really been actually pretty good this season, and then Clemson has just kind of slugged their way through the entire year, barely beating everybody. I don't think they get away with that kind of play in this one. I think Pitt wins this one close at home against the Clemson Tigers.
This is going to be Pitt's first game to lose. They're at home. They have offense. Clemson does not. They have the upper hand. They beat Clemson in Death Valley even back in, I want to say, was it 2016?
2016. It was the same
16?
year Michigan. It was the same day Michigan lost to Iowa, and then
Yes.
USC beat
Yeah,
Washington or something like that.
and then Clemson went on to win the national championship. They lost to Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh's got a shot to beat them, and they have everything is on their way. Like I said, this is Pittsburgh's game to lose. This is Pittsburgh wins this game. They are in control of the Atlantic. Or no, I'm sorry. I believe the Coastal. They're in the Coastal Conference, I think.
Pitt is coastal, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the Coastal Conference. This is Pittsburgh's game to lose. They've got Clemson on the ropes. They could get at least a 2-game lead in the Coastal Conference and in the driver's seat. So, and they've got an offense, like I said earlier, I believe in the top 25. I really like Kenny Pickett as their quarterback. Puts up a lot of yards. They've got the offense to do this. They get a couple scores early. It's over. It is over. I'm going with Pittsburgh.
All right, and next one, we only got 2 games left. Next one is Oklahoma State on the road against Iowa State. This was my shocker of the week, which is funny considering this is actually a really good game. Oklahoma State on the road against Iowa State. Should be a overall fun game. I expect Oklahoma State though to whoops. I expect Oklahoma State. Pick the wrong button there. Oklahoma State. I expect to pull out the win on the road here against Iowa State. I think they have what it takes. I think the Cyclones have a solid team and they have a chance of winning this game. But I am taking the Cowboys to win a close one here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cowboys have been in like so many close games this year. At least uh, I think they've won every game, but at most they've won by 10 points. No, sorry, 11 points. That's the biggest margin of victory they've had all year. That was against Kansas State. So I think it'll be another close game, but this one's almost. I would say no doubter, but I don't think so because it's an Iowa State. I think it'll be tough. Tough to play names, but I think Oklahoma State's going to go up to 7-0, and then they're going to have a huge matchup at the end of the year. Possible playoff implications there. Oklahoma State at the end. That's fun to watch, but they got to get past this game. Really, this is a up until Oklahoma, and after that they got Kansas, West Virginia, TCU, Texas Tech for the playoff right there, and then conference championship after that too. So you never know.
Yeah, it should be. It'll be a good one for sure. And then we have the Oregon. This is the game of the week. This is where College Game Day is. The Oregon Ducks on the road against the UCLA Bruins. This is pretty much the game for the Pac-12. Both big game for both of these sides. Hard game to really choose. I think UCLA has got a solid team, and Oregon is really hurting. They're coming out. I think Oregon coming out of a bye week has got the advantage here. UCLA is at home. Roseville is going to be wild. But I do have the Oregon Ducks by a slight margin. This is going to be a very good game. I could easily see UCLA winning this one as well. But I'll take Oregon to just slip out of, escape Pasadena with a very close win. Last second field goal, last second drive, something like that. Again, I could see UCLA winning, but very close game.
Actually, for sure, Oregon just beat California last week.
Oh yeah, they're not coming off a bye. Well, Cal is a bye, but
yeah, I mean, but they had to stop them on a 4th and goal to win that game. So that was right at the end there, 1 second left. Yes, so Oregon and UCLA. UCLA has lost to Arizona State and Fresno State. Not terrible losses. Yes. Okay, sorry. Draymond Green just did a big basket, put the Warriors up by 4, 9 seconds left to go. And this game is, well, it's 113, 112 now. If I just seconds left. Sorry, I'm really distracted. But, yes, Oregon. I think Oregon. I don't like how UCLA has looked on offense. They only beat Washington by 7, struggled against Arizona. They are back at home, should help. But actually, their 2 losses are at home. I don't know that well, honestly. But, yeah, Oregon, I just think Oregon's a better team. So, yeah, Oregon. And the end of this Warriors and Clippers game.
All right, yep, and that is it for this video. As Sam's video blows up again, I don't know why it keeps doing that, but that's it for this episode. We're both tired. We're probably going to be going to bed right after this Clippers Warriors game is over. So that'll be it for us for this one. Until next time, adios, everybody.